Alright, hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking all about skin. I've been getting so many questions about my skin recently, and they're not without merit. If you guys have been following me for a long time, there is a very clear difference between my skin condition now and when I started my YouTube channel, and I'm going to talk about that today. So right now I have no makeup on, and this is what my skin looks like after the past 2 years of trying to get it into a good condition, this condition. I'm going to talk about the steps that you guys should take in maintaining your skin. I will be doing separate product videos for like different categories, like my favorite or my most recommended skincare products. That's going to be another video, but today is mostly about knowledge. So the first thing that I want to go over is just skincare routine. There are a few essential steps that everyone should be taking in their skincare routine. It's pretty much universal that this is how skincare goes. First step is cleansing. So cleansing is obviously cleaning your skin and getting rid of dirt, grime, makeup, debris, dead skin cells, anything like that that's sitting on top of your skin that could potentially clog pores or settle into lines and just overall make your skin not able to breathe as well as it should be. So cleansing's a little complicated, even though it's just cleaning. So cleansing should really only be done at night, guys. You do not need to wash your face 2 times a day. We have a barrier on top of our skin called the acid mantle, and water is one of the things that most actively breaks down your acid mantle. So anytime your skin is exposed to water, it is being broken down at that moment. So swimming, washing your face, anything like that, water is breaking down your acid mantle. You can of course restore it, but it is being broken down. Cleansing your face should really only be done at night. When you are sleeping, you're not really going outside, you're not exposed to dirt in the air, you don't have makeup on when you're sleeping, so you don't necessarily really need to do a deep cleansing in the morning. I recommend to my clients, and I do this myself, to just use a facial wipe in the morning. My aesthetics teacher highly stressed this as well, that you really only need to just get off the skincare products you put on the night before with a facial wipe. You don't need to go in with cleanser and everything like that all over again. So that being said, when you are cleansing at night, you do want to remove your makeup first. If you wear makeup, that is not considered a step of cleansing. That's just common sense. You're not gonna leave your makeup on. So take your makeup off with a makeup wipe, cleansing oil, anything like that, and then it's time to cleanse. So you can either use a foaming cleanser or a cream cleanser. Foaming cleansers generally are better for people who like a squeaky clean feeling or that may have a lot of oil buildup, but you also want to be cautious with that, and I'll get into that in a second. And the other option is cream cleansers, and that is something that's really good for people with very dry skin, something that won't strip their skin even more. Foaming cleansers are really good at cleaning out oil, and people with dry skin are lacking oil, so they generally want to stay away from foaming cleansers. Yeah, so cream and foaming cleansers are the 2 main ones. If you are the type of person who wants to use a foaming cleanser, make sure that it doesn't have anything in its ingredient list that contains the word sulfate in it, like lauryl sulfate or anything like that. Those generally, sodium lauryl sulfate, those generally are things that are detergents and they are not good for your skin. There are a lot of other things that can be used for a foaming agent other than that ingredient, so try to stay away from anything that says sulfate in it, and that goes the same for your shampoos as well. With cleansing, if you are the type of person who needs a foam cleanser, try your very best to alternate days and use a cream cleanser one day and a foaming cleanser the next, because again, as I said, foaming cleansers do break down your acid mantle and absorb oil. So even if you have oily skin, don't do that, because what happens is the reason your skin produces oil is to keep itself hydrated and just overall healthy. So if you are stripping your skin's oil, all it's going to do is say, hey, I'm lacking oil, I need to produce more. So if you are someone with oily skin, it's actually, I know it seems counterintuitive, but don't strip the oils from your skin every day, because your skin is just going to keep producing more. I'd say a lot of the time, people who have oily skin actually have dehydrated skin, which is lack of water. And that just means you need to be using a lot more topical creams, oils, even though you think you shouldn't be, and just drinking a lot of water and reducing your salt and sodium intake. After you've cleansed, the next step is to tone, and toning is basically just restoring the pH of your skin. When you cleanse, even if you're using a cream cleanser, a lot of the time your skin is stripped, and we have a natural pH that is specific to your skin type, and toners just help bring it back to that after it's been exposed to foaming cleansers or just anything that might have irritated it. It'll just help calm it back down before you go on with your next steps. So for toners, there are so many. I generally don't spend a lot of money on toner because it's on your skin for a few seconds. You don't need to spend a ton of money on toner, but do make sure that it does not contain alcohol in it. Many toners have alcohol in them, and that just dries your skin out even more. Of course, occasionally, if you are breaking out, you could use a alcohol-based toner just as an astringent to disinfect and clean the area, but on a daily basis you really don't want to be using a alcohol-based toner. Most of your toners will be aloe or water-based. In toners, you want to get a cotton round, saturate it with water first, squeeze out the excess, and then pour your toner on, and then go around the face. You don't want to saturate your pad with toner first because you don't need to. It's a complete waste. It's going to take up a lot more product to get that thing completely wet versus being already damp and then putting it on. So that's just another tip to help you guys make your product last longer. Okay, so the next step would be to rebuild or to do your serums. Some people call it a rebuilding, but I just can call it serums. So your serums or any of your like treatment products would go next. And generally, you also want to follow the rule of thinnest to thickest. So if one of your treatment products happens to be thicker than your finishing moisturizer, use that last. But usually treatment products are thinner consistency and in a serum form. So after you have cleansed and toned, you want to put your serums on, and there are so many different types of serums for so many different skin types and concerns. I'm not going to get into that in this video, but basically you just want to press your serums into your skin, avoiding the eye area, especially the lid and under eye area. You can get it around your eye because this skin is so thin underneath your eye that the product will travel up, so there's no need to place it directly under your eye because it will just travel directly into your eye. For serums, there are many different kinds. There's brightening serums, hydrating serums, acne preventing serums. Pick the one that works for you guys best. I'd say 9 out of 10 times I recommend a natural based serum, like something that has more natural ingredients versus any type of chemicals or preservatives or anything like that, just because the serum is really the product where you want to spend the most money on. That's going to be the one that really changes your skin because it's the most potent concentrated, so you really want to invest in good ingredients. So natural based serums are generally what I recommend, but if you guys find one that's more targeted towards your specific skin type or concern that does not have natural ingredients, then go for it, and you can have a more natural product in your moisturizer or in your toner or cleanser. So the next step and the final step is moisturizing, and there is another step after that, but it's a like time sensitive step. So the final step would be moisturizing. You definitely want to keep your skin moisturized and protected after you have cleansed it and then toned it. And even though the toner is a nourishing action, you are then exfoliating again with the cotton pad a little bit. So your skin is definitely irritated anytime you are washing your face, so a moisturizer will help calm that down, and it will help lock in those serums and add another layer of protection. If you can find a moisturizer that contains SPF in it, then great, then you don't have to apply it separately, but do make sure that you are not using that moisturizer at night because SPFs do have particles that are a little bit larger and they can tend to clog pores, which you don't need at night. That leads into the next step, which is time sensitive, and you only do this in the morning, and that is applying SPF. SPF is always the last step on top of your moisturizers unless the moisturizer already contains it, but even still you sometimes want to apply an additional SPF on top depending on where you live and how long you know you'll be outside for. So guys, that is basically the steps, the main core steps of skincare. Of course you have your masks and exfoliants and other things like that that you can work into your routine on certain days, but that's basically the core and what you want to be doing on a daily basis. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is exfoliation. A lot of people say exfoliate every day. The Clarisonic is marketed as a daily, twice a day facial brush. You guys should not ever be exfoliating more than 3 times a week. I generally reserve it for once a week on Wednesdays, and I do it again the following Wednesday, and I even switch up the exfoliant that I use the following Wednesday so that it's not the same. Exfoliation is basically just sloughing off or rubbing or dissolving dead skin cells on the top of your skin. And your skin has a skin cycle, so depending on how old you are, your skin cycle may take longer. If you're younger, it's faster, and that basically just means the time in which the skin on the surface from when you exfoliate it, it's brand new skin and it's all healed and it's just like nice and new skin on the surface. So basically after you exfoliate, your skin is very sensitized and it's fresh and it's brand new, and it takes up to a week or 2 to heal depending again on your age and skin cycle. When you're older, at your oldest around 80, your skin cycle's around every 42 days. So that being said, you don't need to get rid of dead skin every day because you're not going to have new dead skin the following day. You just got rid of it. So you really don't need to be exfoliating even more than 1 time a week unless you're the type of person who wears makeup a lot. Then yes, I would say 3 times, or up to 3 times at the most, but keep it more once at the beginning, once at the end of the week. And leading more into exfoliation, we're going to talk about the different types of exfoliation. There is mechanical exfoliation and chemical exfoliation. Mechanical exfoliation is the most common, and that's the one that you guys have probably done many times on your own, and that is just basically scrubs or facial brushes. Anything that is physical, that is eroding the skin, is mechanical exfoliation. So sugar scrubs are great, salt scrubs are great, except you do have to be careful with them. Because they're not circular like a lot of beaded exfoliants, they have jagged edges and can cause micro tears in the skin if you're applying too much pressure, which can cause infection, acne, a whole other list of things. So generally, I don't recommend sugar or salt scrubs for the face. I typically will recommend scrubs that contain polyethylene beads, which are completely spherical, round, they have no jagged edges, and they have no chance of scratching you. Yes, they don't have that same satisfying, like, scrubby, like, scratchy sandpaper feel that I know, we all know is bad, but it feels awesome, that you get from, like, a sugar scrub, but it's really not good for your skin, guys, so definitely try to find one that says bead exfoliant versus a scrub. So now that we have covered basically what exfoliants are, just try to keep in mind to only do them 1 to 3 times a week. Alright, I'm going to move the camera a little closer. So chemical peels are basically anything that will exfoliate the skin by dissolving it. And there are 2 types, which are AHA and BHA, alpha hydroxy acid and beta hydroxy acid. The most common ones that you guys are going to see are AHAs, and that is glycolic acid, lactic acid, tartaric acid, malic acid. Those are the ones that are most common. And AHAs and BHAs, the main difference between them is their solubility. AHAs generally are more water soluble, and you'll find them to be better for dry skin. BHAs are, there's really only one common one, and that's salicylic acid, and I'm sure you guys have heard of that many times in many acne-prone, acne-targeted products, and they are more oil-soluble and oil-loving. AHAs, alpha-hydroxy acids like glycolic and tartaric and malic acids, they're better at breaking down the skin, so what they basically do is dissolve the glue, I can't remember the word for it, but they basically dissolve the glue that holds our skin cells together so that they can be easily dissolved and sloughed off. Whereas BHAs like salicylic acid are better at like degunking pores and just cleaning things out. So that is why salicylic acid is generally more targeted towards and prescribed for acne-prone skin. And now that will lead into another thing. So once your skin is basically healed and completely fixed from your acne, like mine is now, I basically am just suffering from scarring, very minimal, so I don't really use salicylic acid products anymore. I have basically gone only exclusively to BHAs to get rid of my scarring and resurface my skin. And that ties back into my Wednesday exfoliation. So one Wednesday I'll do my mechanical scrub, and then the following Wednesday I will do a peel. Depending on how long I left the peel on and if my skin actually starts peeling or gets too dry, I may even skip exfoliation entirely the following week and just do the rest of my skincare throughout the week, making sure that it's very nourishing and very hydrating to keep my skin nice and healthy and help heal it to help heal it from that peel. Alright guys, so that basically concludes the main steps and your exfoliation. The final thing that I really want to talk about is maintenance. So one thing that I find to be absolutely crucial is makeup. If you are a makeup wearer, and I know this is the hardest thing to do, and it's really sucks, but the way I got my skin to this condition was to stop wearing makeup. Now that is not meaning you're going out barefaced, I just mean foundation. I do not wear foundation anymore except for when I am filming or when I need to make sure that my skin looks perfect for an event. Yes, there was about a 8-month period of time where my skin didn't look that great and I felt kind of uncomfortable going outside, but every day it got better. Every day that my skin was breathing and just left on its own, it got better. So you really want to try to avoid wearing foundation as much as possible. If you have extremely cystic acne and scarring everywhere, I understand. You are not going to just go outside with nothing on, but try maybe doing one less layer of foundation, being a little more fine with it not being full coverage and having a few of your spots coming through. Because to be quite honest, if you have cystic acne, you can see the texture. Everyone knows you have it, so it's a little bit showing through isn't like, oh my god, like people already know. And I'm not saying that to be mean. That's how I thought of it. That's how I think of it now. That's why I don't wear foundation now, because people know from the texture that there's something there. If I just cover it up, it looks heavy. So try to wear foundation as infrequently as possible, and then once your skin is at this condition, when you do wear foundation, it doesn't really do anything to your skin. My skin has had no problems with foundation when I do wear it now. Another thing that I want to mention is food. I have completely cut out sugars, like soda. I very rarely drink soda anymore. If I'm having any desserts, it's very infrequently. And also I really have tried to cut down on my fried foods. That is the hardest one for me because I work at a hotel and I get free food from the restaurant for lunch, and a lot of the time it is something that has been fried or heavily cooked, but there is luckily a salad bar, so that's something that I can drink and something I can eat a lot of. And then lastly is water. Obviously water goes hand in hand with just overall health, but it really, really does help your skin. The final thing that I want to talk about is sanitation. Don't touch your face. I don't ever touch my face anymore. I was a huge leaning on my hand. I even don't like doing that now. Get out of the habit of doing that. Like, slap yourself. Oh, I touched my face again. Like, hit yourself somewhere other than your face. Every time you touch your face, you know to stop touching it. We touch so many things, and it's gross. Bacteria is one of the #1 leading things. Actually, it is the #1 thing that causes acne. And yeah, so don't touch your face. Change your pillowcases. Wash your comforters and your towels weekly. A lot of the time, if I'm doing a heavy exfoliation, I will not even dry my face off with a towel. I will use paper towels so it's something fresh and disposable, get rid of it, done. Alright guys, so I hope this video was helpful for you. I will go into depth of the specific products in the categories I mentioned that I highly recommend in separate videos upcoming. I really want to start off a very big, skincare focused series of videos, starting off with this one for the beginning of school and getting ready for school, because I know that's a huge thing for a lot of you guys. And yeah. So again, I hope this video was helpful for you guys. I am a certified esthetician, so this information is not coming from out of nowhere. I spent hundreds of hours learning this and drilling it into my mind, working on clients. I know what I'm talking about. So please definitely take my tips to heart because they are valid information, and as you can see from my skin, I am a perfect example of what I'm preaching now. It works, and there are definitely ways to fix your skin even if you think it's hopeless. So please subscribe so you can see the videos upcoming where I talk about the products that specifically help with these problems. But also guys, products are not going to make everything. You have to be taking care of your skin internally as well by eating well, not doing crazy things, not drinking too much, not, being healthy. I will see you guys later. Give this video a huge thumbs up if you liked it, and I'll see you in my next one. And until then, bye.